right. Hello, everyone. This is Tess. We're a real estate broker out of New Jersey. This is one of those series where I get to feature business owners and professionals to deep dive into their expertise and zone of genius. And today I'm really excited to bring my special guest, Marissa Fink, who is the founder of Kit Reno. It is a bathroom renovation company, and it's a very, very interesting concept. I cannot wait to dig deep into it. So welcome, Marissa.
Thank you so much, Taz. I'm thrilled to be here.
Welcome, welcome. So first, I feel like we have to talk about how we met because there is a lot to be said about taking action and intention, right? So you reached out to me, I think via email some time ago, introducing your business, and we happen to be in the same town, in the same moms group, right? And we connected on that, and we could have just left it at that, but we didn't, right? So we decided to meet up for coffee, and didn't we talk for like an hour about family before we even get into business?
Yes, I think it was like a 3-hour coffee date where I immediately, I was like, I like this girl. I think we were vibing. And I immediately started talking to you about like Jewish witches and this Hebrew priestess book, which has become to be like my litmus test for whether I want to hang with someone. And you passed, decided you were a weaver priestess.
Yes.
Because you interweave all these different elements of your life together so beautifully. And you've really made that into an art. And I loved that you were like so powerful, but in this innately feminine way.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I was just telling that to someone the other day. I'm like, one of my friends calls me the weaver priestess. I love that. I consider myself a connector, and I'm so glad that you felt that, and that's the energy that you felt. Yeah. But today we're here to talk about you and your company. So I was so fascinated when you emailed me. I looked into it and the website and everything. I'm like, you could just tell this is like a women-founded company. It was just put together really well. So tell us about Kit Reno. For someone who may not have heard about it, like how would you describe it maybe like in a sentence?
Sure. So Kit Renovation is a fixed price bathroom renovation company. We call it an off-the-shelf designer bathroom because we've put in all the work to curate 15 designs with designers. And all you have to do is kind of like choose one. It's almost like going on Pinterest, seeing an image you like, and then we do all the work to project it into your bathroom in real life.
Love it. So this helps with, folks like myself who may get into like analysis paralysis of choosing design and color and all of that.
Choice fatigue, right?
Yes.
Yes. So from a design standpoint, some people are designers and that's great. Some people go to Home Depot or Floor and Decor and they're like, I don't know, this 79-cent tile versus the $20 a square foot tile. I don't want to know. I've got a job. I've got kids. I don't need to turn this into my new full-time job. I just want it to look beautiful. Yeah. And our client, time and time again, we've done, 100 bathrooms at this point. I call our customer very lovingly the convenience customer because it's me, right? Yeah. Like I've got stuff to do. I love delegating to capable people or parties.
Yes.
So customers that come to us are like, I hate my bathroom. I need a new bathroom. The one I saw on your website looks great. I love the classic neutral or the boutique bold. Can you just give me that?
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, we can give that to you. We have all the materials. We've vetted everything. We've got the right team to do that. And we make it really easy for you. Also, what plays into the convenience for our customers is really the fixed price piece of it, because that's our major differentiator in the market. So we basically, when we talk to people, they fall into two buckets for us, pain aware and pain unaware. Because renovation is painful. Right. Yeah. And if you've done a renovation before or been close to one, like I'm sure you've been to close to a million and selling homes and buying homes, renovation is like surgery. It can go really off the rails if you don't have the right partners. Yeah. It can go really off the rails if you do have the right partners, right? It's really messy business. And what is typical, and people who are pain aware know this, is you're like, I want to renovate my bathroom. You don't know where to start.
Yeah.
So go on your local Facebook group or something. You're like, hey mamas, like we see this 100 times a day, right? In our Facebook group for moms. What should I spend on a bathroom renovation? This guy gave me a quote for labor only. No one will even come out to give me a quote.
Oh my gosh, can we talk about that? Like, this is actually a really nice segue to like, you know, what problem is it solving? Because when I looked at your website and I read your FAQs, like, I mean, as a real estate professional, I get asked for recommendations all the time. And, you know, one of the if I could duplicate myself, if I could clone myself, I feel like something I would help folks with is they're really, really good, you know, contractors who are great with their hands, right? Like they know what they're doing. Sometimes the business acumen is lacking, right? So getting back with an estimate when they say they will, just delivering on word, right? So estimation of time, cleaning up nicely, and staying in budget. And so just within that realm, there's so much to control for. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about what problem is it solving? You know, what is your team composed of? And, you know, once someone says this one right here, can you boop, make this, you know, my bathroom? Like, what does that process look like?
Yeah, totally. And to your point, by the way, like we love contractors and contractors love us actually, because contractors typically they've got a crew or two crews. They're great with their hands. They're not answering emails. They're in their truck all day, right? Like, how could you be buttoned up when you can't do two things like really beautifully at the same time? Although mothers do, right?
And we don't want them doing that, right? Like when we hire them, we don't want them picking up the phone. We want them focused on the work that we hired them to do.
Exactly. So we basically, if you reach out to me or someone from your mama group reaches out to me, what I would do is I would schedule a Zoom call with someone from my sales team. We have a great sales team. They would get on a Zoom. We would have you scan your bathroom with your phone in advance. So we have all your measurements and we know what we're looking at.
Now, is there a specific app for that?
Yeah, we link you to this app. We use Canvas. It's like takes 3 minutes. It's very user-friendly. It works on iPhones. Beautiful. You get on a call with our sales team. We have 3 tiers of pricing. And like they're all written down. We're not sizing you up and saying, oh, you live in Montclair, so I'm going to charge you double, right? We're not adjusting it, like they're fixed, right? Like we don't discriminate. So it's a fixed price for a half bathroom or a powder room, meaning like just a tub. I'm sorry, just a toilet and a sink. The standard, which is like the West Orange special, we call it, right? It's got like a tub shower combo, vanity and toilet, or we call it primary bathroom, which typically has 2 wet areas, a double vanity, and a toilet. And you fall into one of those 3 categories. And then there are conditions or upgrades that you may select or your sales associate will select, and you add it up. And over the course of a half an hour conversation on Zoom, you have a fixed price. Now,
oh my God,
that is so unique, because what fixed price means is we're giving you the all-in price. And I know this sounds so salesy, but like, it's really important to understand how this is so different than everyone else on the marketplace. We're giving you a fixed price for labor and materials, design, and project management. So like those 4 elements are essential, and you're going to spend time and money on them no matter what if you have a good build. So someone might say, okay, I'm going to hire Joe with a truck for labor. He came in at $12,000 for my standardized size bathroom. Cool, right? That price is going to go up once he opens up your walls, because he passes along change orders. Like, don't hate the player, hate the game. Like, that's how it goes. That's fine. You should you should expect that. Then to your materials, which is like so variable, right? And like most clients never even total what they spend on materials, let alone on the front end. Right. Because they order this from Home Depot, this from Wayfair, no one's adding that up. My sister did that on her own. Once she surpassed $30,000, she stopped keeping track. Right. Then there's project management, which takes time to coordinate all the materials, the labor, the subs, the design, the time on Pinterest, all the time, right? As women, we're like, I'm not paying someone for that. I'll do it. Well, what's your time worth? How many hours are you going to burn on going to see tile samples, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the design piece of it,
Mhm.
right? Architecture and design. So like we actually use architectural drawings and renderings to align with the client, just to like make sure our vision is exactly the same at the front end, because what typically happens with Joe Contractor is like, once your walls are open, you're having to change on just like pivot on things because you weren't aligned at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think I got off track to your question.
No,
So
you got it. You got it. And I'm just going to deep dive into a couple of them because just to make it clear. So I think everyone who's done, who's gotten work done, I don't know if anyone has gotten it so that they got, a quote, and that was exactly what it was at the end of the day. Like you said, due to different things, due to change orders, due to labor, especially after COVID, right? Due to material shortage and all of that, some controllable, some uncontrollable. So the reason why your company is different is because how are you leveraging these resources? Because some of them you have in-house, correct? Perhaps architect and the fact that a consumer doesn't have to go out and look for a separate architect and separate contractor, that by itself, I think, is valuable, and that there's one team, cohesive team that's working on it. But so when it comes to material, as an example, do you already have material in stock, or you have a relationship with someone so that the price doesn't go up and down on you, that's allowing you to honor the price? How does that work?
Yeah, so we actually, it's a combination. We fix our price to the client. If like, we stop all boats coming from China for some like trade reason, like we're still going to figure out a way to get those materials, and our price to our clients not changing. But we have inventory, which we have bought at wholesale.
Okay.
We also make our own vanities in Amish country out of wood, made to order. They're gorgeous. And we have a warehouse in Ohio.
Yeah.
Where basically once you sign with us after that call, and we then have another design call with our team where we choose what you want off our website. It's really fun, right? Like, I want that. And can you give us brushed brass handles? Yes, great. We'll drop a rendering. Once we land all that and create architectural drawings, our fulfillment team in Ohio puts everything on a pallet, wraps it up real nice, puts some kit stickers on it, and we ship it out to you in one set, and it arrives on your driveway. And then our team, if you're hiring us for a full service installation, we also sell materials only if that's relevant. But our team, like contractors that we work with in our network over and over, comes and they install it based on your exact bathroom. Like, it's not, people get confused that they think like we're a bath fitter or something. We're not. It's a full like knock down, tear out renovation.
Yeah.
Based on your exact space.
Yeah. So now I know that you said there's an app to use to scan. And I think for those of us who are comfortable with virtual learning, virtual working, that's fine. But I'm sure there's a piece of us like, but is there going to be a human that's going to come out and actually measure and make sure that my scanning is right? Right. I would imagine there's a
totally. There's a 10% margin of error with our scanning. Totally. But our project managers know where kind of like the hiccups are with the tech. And also we know what matters, right? So like if it measures your floor as 65 square feet versus 70, like it doesn't matter because we're sending 20 or 30% extra tile, no matter what. If you have an alcove vanity that like we need to fit something in there perfectly, either we're asking the customer to measure with a measuring tape, that specific thing, same for an alcove tub or whatever. Or we're sending a team out to do a double measurement. If something is like a lot rides on that inch, right? So like we're going to make sure that it's perfect. Same goes for like a piece of shower glass, right? Some things matter down to the inch and some things don't.
Got it. Now, I understand based on your website that this works for those who are looking to keep sort of the same arrangement, right? Keeping the tub where the tub is, keeping the sink where the sink is for the most part. Am I right in that?
I mean, we do everything. So what you're describing is like for like, where you're not moving walls, water, or electricity. And that's going to be like your most cost efficient way to renovate a bathroom anyhow. If you are happy with the current layout, because typically that means you don't need permits, although it does vary town to town. It also means that you don't need specialized licensed subs who are always more expensive than a regular generalist GC. So like all our build partners are licensed, insured, double vetted, background checks, so on and so forth. Like no one is vetting contractors like we are. But we hire generalists because they can do a typical like for like situation. And it's great. Once you're moving electric or water, you need a specialized electrician or a plumber to come in there to make sure that it's all done perfectly. And those guys, like all of us should be fine if our children turn out to be electricians or plumbers, because like those guys make bank. Like they are expensive and they're talented, so they deserve it. But once you guys get those guys coming in and you need permits, we know how to flag it, but like you are bumping up the baseline price. And we add that on in your quote. We're like, oh, you want to move the shower from there to there? No problem. We know how to calculate that. But like, so you know, you should expect it to be more expensive than if it were a like for like.
Got it. Okay. Great. And so, okay, so someone reaches out to you, just to keep things simple. Let's say that I'm interested in doing like for like, I just want to spruce up, new tub, new vanity, maybe new lighting or whatever. I reach out to you, you send me an app, I scan it. We have a 30-minute conversation. You send me, drawings and something, we pick out a design. We get and there's someone who's going to come out before the items are shipped, real human measuring stuff. I get it delivered to my home, and then you have vetted contractors who can install the work. Now, how long does this process take end to end on average?
We typically, I'll walk you through it. You get on the phone with us and we'll give you a contract as soon as the call is over. You sign with us. Typically, you're getting on the phone with our operations team within a few days to choose your design, or at least start the design process. From there, we create within about a week a photorealistic rendering to make sure that you like all your choices. It's based on your exact space. Within about another week, so we're 2 weeks now, we get you architectural drawings based on that. We do like around a revision or two based on your feedback. And from there, once we have the architectural drawings, we can sprint. And typically we like to say, we like a solid 2 months to get all the materials together to make your vanity to order in Amish country. And then we can kick off. So we're looking at, and then once we actually get materials on site, it's about 3 weeks for a bathroom renovation, like a standard bathroom renovation. So you're looking at about 3.5 months from the time you get on the phone with us until when you can take a shower in your new bathroom. All in.
Got it.
And that is actually very typical. It's just the other contractors won't be upfront with you about that. They'll like yes you and then delay and, oh, this tile's not ready. My build crew's busy on another job. Sorry, someone got COVID, whatever.
So some material you have inventory and stock, some is getting made to order, sounds like.
That's exactly right.
Okay, perfect. So far, let me see if I have this right. So you have architects on site. And by the way, when we're going back and forth on our architect drawings and stuff like that, obviously it's all included in one fee. So there's no additional fees, right?
The project manager is, you have one point person. Just to clarify, the architect doesn't come out, but we would have a build member come out if we had to measure something. But yes, go on.
So you have an architect, project manager, contractor, design, all-inclusive price. You honor it throughout the renovation. You can this work can be completed 3 to 4 weeks once items arrive. And then you have a payment plan?
We do, yeah. What's most popular with our customers is 12 months for 0 APR, and why wouldn't you do that? Yeah, it's easy. So we have a partner called Loan Glide, and you can even actually apply for financing before you sign a contract with us if you want, just to see if you'd be eligible, because that's a major decision maker with whether you'll proceed or not. So it makes it a lot less painful, especially if cash flow is
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's a major win. Okay, that's really exciting. And so let's talk a little bit about, I think we kind of touched on this, we talked about the customer experience of what someone can expect, to get timelines and the different professionals they'll interact with and the pain points they will, avoid by working with you. Let's talk a little bit about just the state of the renovation industry as a whole, right? So we touched on it a little bit. On average, the experience is, we lean on our neighbors, right, for recommendations of people they've worked with. And, there's some great professionals, again, who may do great work. Often, unfortunately, the story is that it takes longer, or maybe it costs much more than expected, or maybe a contractor finds a bigger job. And so, there may even be stories that maybe work is abandoned and moved on and things like that. And so when you think about Kit Reno, how does it fit into the bigger renovation industry?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a meaty, fun question. First of all, the post-pandemic renovation market is very different than it was prior to COVID. That's because with the onset of the pandemic, renovations were at a 50-year all-time high, which means there's more demand. So contractors can charge as much as they want, and they should, like, good for them. So, your mom or your cousin having renovated 3 years ago, and they got a gorgeous new bathroom with like high quality finishes for $13,000. That doesn't exist anymore in the Northeast. People are often shocked by that because, like, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, it is a lot of money. It shouldn't cost that much money, but that's what it costs right now. So labor prices have more than doubled.
Yeah.
And materials have skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, a year after I started this business, like, you couldn't get brushed brass fixtures anywhere.
Yeah.
So I started like stockpiling them in my garage. Like, I would find a vendor who had like tons of brushed brass, because you need to like match brushed brass, the faucets to the accessories and whatever else. It looks really hodgepodge.
Yeah.
And like, they were nowhere, and they were so inflated. So Remodeling Magazine and the New York Times actually piggybacked on this recently. Those two sources are the only places so far that I've seen online that have actually written about the current state of the market in an accurate way. And on our website, I actually kind of compiled it into a blog because, one of our main investors is IAC, which is the company that owns Angie's List and Home Advisor.
Yeah.
Home Advisor is always like sending out emails like, renovate your bathroom for $6,000. And we're like, that is not the price.
Right.
Like, you're like telling all our customers that like we're overcharging, and we're actually charging what a bathroom should cost.
Right.
So anyhow, if you're looking for like a third party objective place to look at the state of the renovation market, you should look at Remodeling Magazine.
Yeah.
It's like an obscure industry magazine, but they're the only ones who have done the actual studies.
Yeah.
And in terms of like where we fall in the marketplace, like, listen, I renovated a bathroom in my basement.
Yeah.
Pre-pandemic, and I used the shittiest materials because like, we just wanted we had put an extra bedroom down there. We wanted another full bathroom. We had the rough in, right? And my husband took me to Home Depot, and we were like, he's like, you may only buy those linoleum tiles and like that $150 shitty vanity. And I was like, please let me buy the $200 vanity. He was like, no, we were spending the minimum. Okay. So I spent on that bathroom, labor, materials, standard bathroom, like $12,000 pre-pandemic with the world's shittiest gas station materials, basically. Okay. Just to give you a sense. So that was pre-pandemic. So probably if I did that now, it would be more in the $17,000 range for that bathroom now, let's just say, right? Based on labor material. We are effectively the Lomans of bathrooms, right? And so like, did you used to shop at Lomans?
A little bit.
All right. So it's like a Nordstrom Rack, right? So it's something designer at a discount.
Got it.
It is considered a mid-range bathroom.
Okay.
So for example, like, you could spend a lot more on a bathroom and you could spend a lot less on the bathroom.
Yeah.
We're right in the middle for a high quality bathroom with good materials.
Yeah. Amazing. And I'm looking at some before and afters on your website. So kitreno.com, you can look to see some pictures, and also on Instagram. So that's actually a nice segue to what has your experience been being a women leader in the construction business?
Oh, that's such a good question. You know, I've had to slay some dragons.
Yeah.
Um, I saw you posted on Instagram recently and I loved it. Something like, it's so fun when someone underestimates you.
Yes. Yes.
So like, I don't know if you know this, but like the construction industry is like mostly men, and like a specific kind of men typically. But it's actually been really fun. Like,
Yeah.
because in a way, it's so hard not to like generalize and get myself into trouble here. But like, I really like working with contractors.
Okay.
Because I feel like once they get over the fact that like my background is not in construction, and that I'm a woman, but they see that I deliver and I make their jobs easier and I do what I say I'm going to do, then I'm like their best friend.
Yeah.
So it's always like getting over that initial hump of like destigmatizing all the stuff where they feel like they need to like tell me things and like have a contest with me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, dude, like, you know more about construction than I do for sure.
Yeah.
But like, I know more about all the other things. So like, let's work together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And to be clear, your background is law, correct?
I used to be a lawyer,
Yeah.
and then I shifted to the nonprofit world. And then for the last chunk of years, I've been in startups.
Yeah.
And really what's, just the reason I love this role so much is because actually like in my last few startups, I've been working with this convenience customer, we call her.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because I am her, right?
Yeah.
Like I want something done right. I want it done beautifully, and I want it to be easy.
Yeah.
Just give it to, like, when you become a mother, you realize like the value of convenience. You're like, just, can you give it to me?
Yeah.
And make it easy or not? Because then get out of my way.
Yeah.
Like,
I
that's
love
it.
that. I love that. And there's so much to just dig into everything that you just said, just being a woman leader in an industry where, there may be some friction at first. And just that what you said, that's what a lot of smart leaders say is, hey, you are the expert. You know a lot about this. I know a lot about these other things, and I know enough to lead this. Right. And so like when I work with my clients, I always say I'm a licensed broker, right, in the state of New Jersey. I am not a contractor. I am not an inspector. I am not a lawyer. I know a little bit about everything to be dangerous, just to lead you into the right way, right? I don't ever claim to be licensed any of the other things. And I think there's power in that. And I think when you have conversations with other people and they understand that, you at least understand the basics of their industry, then, you can form stronger relationships. So I love that. And some people may be wondering too, who may be thinking about doing kitchen renovations, am I going to get the ROI back? Right. So let's talk a little bit about that. So I often get calls and DMs from people, and I love when people are, thinking ahead and reach out to me about, listen, I'm going to be in this home for years to come. However, I'm planning to do this renovation. Someone actually called me and they were like, hey, I'm updating my bathroom. This was a couple of years ago. And they said, I was thinking about just doing, a shower, like no tub, right? This particular bathroom. And that was the only tub in the house. And she said to me, do you think that will make a difference in resale? And I love how people think ahead and, things like that. And so I think in a nutshell, there's nothing that, we can say, hey, if you do the bathroom, yep, you're going to get 100% of your money back. I always say it's a balance of, if when you were buying, what were you looking for, right? So we think of it in the framework of what type of improvements will allow your home, when you're ready to sell it, to be marketed to the wider buyer pool possible, right? So when you have, bathroom and kitchen renovations, yes, first time home buyers, those downsizing, upsizing, you catch a lot of potential buyers with that. But I think it's really important to balance, what you can expect to get an ROI versus just enjoying the space that you're living in, right? There's value in that. That is one of the values of home ownership, is being able to customize to your liking and entertain and live and enjoy. And so I do think bathrooms and kitchens and floors and paint and, those things do give a great ROI back. But there's no exact math of, yes, you do this and you get that. And so I know that this is a question that comes up a lot, and I hope that offers some framework to think through.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Do you want to add to that?
I mean, I would imagine that you would be much more the expert on ROI than I am. But one of the questions that our sales team always asks is this your forever home? Because we feel like that unlocks so many insights into like how we should even like chart the map of decision making. Like if it's not your forever home and you think you'll just be there for like 2 or 3 years, then we'll steer someone towards more traditional choices, or like an all white bathroom. We have a couple on our website and we're designing more. But if like it's their forever home and they want to choose like one of our wildest things, we're like, let's do it.
Right.
We have a question about the tub a lot, like where someone is in their family journey matters a lot for us.
Yeah.
Whether they're doing glass, if you have a baby and you're bathing a baby, like, no, we're not putting a fixed glass panel on your tub. It's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
If you're pregnant, maybe you want our step stool vanity. And like, to me, ROI, like, to me, it's just like, is it your forever home or not? Like, I can't make a determination about like what your ROI is going to be, but I can help you like make the right decision for the next stage. You know what I mean?
I do. And I love that you asked those questions. I have what I call these lifestyle questions in my onboarding and intake process as well. They're really insightful. Like people will tell me, I need 4 bedrooms and whatever. I said, great, tell me how you're going to use it, right? They're like, well, 1 bedroom for us and, 2 for the kids and then the other one for the office. So what you're really looking for is 3 bedroom and an office. That's a very different search than a 4 bedroom, right? So when you start to have conversations about how people intend to use their space, and I love your question of, is this your forever home? Then I think that puts things into perspective in terms of investment, in terms of, do I want to splurge because I plan to be here a little bit longer or not? So I love that, all of that holistic approach. So let's talk about, again, I think we touched on this throughout, but just to make it super clear, who would you say are your ideal clients? Right? Like, who do you find in the 100 or so of bathrooms that you've done have found real value in this? I think what you're doing is really valuable and really fascinating, but like, which pocket of clients, would you say is sort of your ideal clients or your sweet spot?
I would say it's a great question, actually. My first instinct as you were talking were like, it's me and you.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's everyone in our mom group, where I try like not to play too hard there, but but it's true. Actually, most of our clients fall into the demographic of like 35 to 45, right? They're people who are digitally like, if not digitally native, then like digitally comfortable making a major purchase over like a screen, right? Like we'll send you samples, but like it's somewhat like people who are older than that, they're like, no, you got to come out and measure. Like, no, like, I don't trust this. Who are you? Whatever. But people in our age demographic don't want to go to the store, like and like look for the right size jeans and all the different styles. They want to sort on their computer screen, right? So I would say like the people in our age bracket, that's one. And also people with older homes, because something we haven't touched on yet is like the major risk mitigation that is working with kids. So like the fact that we don't pass along change orders except in very specific circumstances where like there's a structural issue, there's a mold issue, whatever, it's all outlined in our contract. Like that is so major for someone with an older home. Additionally, someone who's just really risk averse.
Yes, you literally took the words out of my mouth.
Yes, because like we've had, like if you hire a regular like chuck in a truck contractor, your deposit, sizable deposit, is going to this guy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He gets COVID, he gets in a car accident, he has a drug problem that you didn't sniff out at first, whatever, right? Like your deposit is with him. Your only recourse would be suing him individually or making a complaint with the Better Business Bureau, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you sign with us, your contract is with me. It's
Yeah.
with Kit Renovation.
Yeah.
Okay. So if our contractor gets in a motorcycle accident, gets COVID, something happens, has a family emergency, which are all human things
Yes.
that happen, right? We will pull them out,
Yeah.
right? Bring in another build crew from that geography, no change in price to you at all.
Yep.
Right? The second contractor is still vetted.
Yeah.
And that's happened on, I think, just 2 jobs of ours.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
typically, like our contractors are really awesome, but like COVID was still raging.
Things happen. Yeah.
Like things happen, right? Like
Yeah.
kids get sick.
Yep.
So in those circumstances where like we see that the contractor would not be able to complete the job
Yeah.
or the way that we felt was to our standards,
Yeah.
we'll sub them out and the client doesn't pay anything extra. So for someone who's like really risk averse, which is like a scary position to be in going into a renovation, right?
Yeah.
Because a renovation is fraught with risk.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah.
It's like surgery, right? Like you wouldn't like, don't have elective surgery, right? Like that's, so I would say those categories, older homes, millennials, and people who are risk adverse are like really the people we love talking to because we're a really good fit for them.
I already fall into 2 of those 3 categories. So your theory is, vetted, confirmed right here. So what you said just now is also really, comforting to know that, like, even though I'm dealing with a company, life happens, things happen. And so if something worse gonna go on with that contractor, I'm not back to square one if this happened, and then looking for a contractor who's willing to finish work that has already started and all of that, right? So you already have someone vetted and, lined up to do that. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'll just give you one anecdote. We're starting a build, I think, next week with this wonderful woman in New York City who like gave a contractor a deposit and he ran off.
Oof.
And we're doing the job now. But like that's crazy. It's not an unusual thing, actually.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. That's actually a good question. So we're in New Jersey. You and I are located in New Jersey. Where else do you provide service?
Right now we are in the greater Philly area, Jersey, New York, in the city, out of the city, out to Long Island, Connecticut, and the greater Boston area.
Nice.
But we also, that's where we do full service.
Okay.
But if you're outside those geographies, or if you're in those geographies and just want our materials, we'll sell you our kit of materials, which is everything you need for your bathroom, and we'll ship it anywhere nationally.
Okay. So like, say, I don't know, if a client, themselves happen to be contractors or something like that, or if the scope of work doesn't necessarily require permits but they really love your design, the option is really good as well. Awesome.
Most people within our geography who end up buying kits from us, just kit only, are doing like a larger renovation.
Yeah.
And they have a contractor who's like also doing their kitchen and their basement, whatever. You don't want 2 cooks in there. So we'll just ship them the pallet, and the contractors love it because they're like, we like tell them what we're sending in advance, like give them a detailed spec list, measurements, drawings, everything. So they know what's coming, and it's like actually a lot less work for them.
I love that. And I love that you were flexible with your business model to fit that. I remember when I was first reading your website, you were like considering that was like in the FAQ. So if we're considering this model, so you must have heard it enough that you said, okay, let's make this happen. So I love that. And, if anyone is watching this, if you have, bathroom renovations in mind, hopefully this has been really helpful. But if you know of contractors, it sounds like this information could be really helpful to them as well. Just to know that everything will just be literally delivered to the client's home. They can plug and play. So that's awesome.
We have a special team member dedicated actually just to contractors. So we sell to contractors as well.
Nice.
So it's great.
Love it. So what's next for Kit Reno? Do you have plans to expand more or maybe, dive deeper into a specific practice? Like what's the bigger goal?
We have some pretty big aspirations.
Yeah.
But I think the most exciting thing, I guess, on the horizon is designer collaborations.
Yeah.
Because we have a pretty good plug and play system where if someone is it like an up and coming interior designer, they could design like a specific bathroom kit for us, and then they could kind of get what do you call it? They can basically get like a portion of each sale.
Yeah, a rev share. Yeah.
A little bit of, right, I'm sorry, I need more coffee. But it's a little bit like of a kind for
Yeah.
bathrooms.
Yeah.
Did you remember of a kind?
I don't.
It was like it was a website that basically did like limited edition designer collaborations. Like so
Yeah.
they would have these fancy bags and like of a local designer and like only make 40 of them, 40 of a kind.
Got it.
So it's kind of like of a kind, but for bathroom designs. We want to keep adding designs so that they're like limited edition and seasonal and
Yeah. I love that. I love that. I love just the creativity within the space. Awesome. So, okay, we covered a lot, right? We covered about how we met. We covered about your company, the problem it's solving, the team that's within that comes in your company, and it's literally like I want this, and it's done in a matter of a couple months, fixed price, minimal risk of any, and digital. Comfortable for those who don't like going into stores. Led by a woman as a certified feminist. That gets me excited. And look, our kids haven't bothered us yet. I think that's a win for today.
I did get a light knock on the door, but I ignored it. So
okay, you did a great job. I didn't even hear it. So last, I'll ask you, where can people connect with you and your company? So if, when this video is out and people are interested and this sounds like something they may want to connect with you about, what's the best way to reach out to you?
You can email me at marissa@kitreno.com, and I spell my name funny. It's MERISA. Or you could just check us out online at kitreno.com. We also are on Pinterest and Facebook and Instagram and all the things. But we're always looking for new people to partner with, and I love working in this area. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marissa. I really appreciate the time we spent together. I really hope that our listeners, viewers have found this helpful, and that there is such a niche company that kind of just takes all the pain points out of bathroom renovation. And, it's kind of like hiring a cleaner, right? When I first started hiring a cleaner, there was a little bit of guilt of like, I felt like it was like this luxury, right? And then until, my home was clean and I was like, oh, I think this is mental wellness. Like I have less anxiety that my home is clean. This is not luxury, right? So I see it as one of those things. We're going to spend the money and the energy somehow, some way, right? Whether it's change orders or, contractors walking away or whatever, it's such a peace of mind to know that this is the design I'm getting, this is the price, and this is a time frame. And I do hope that, this message gets to the right people. If you're not, in the market to renovate your bathroom right now, definitely share this out with others. They may very well be looking for this information. Anything else that we want to share, Marissa, before we say bye?
I think it's just that, I think the only thing we didn't touch on really is just like the value of the project management.
Yeah.
I don't think it can be overstated.
Yeah.
And I think unless you've done a renovation, you don't really know. But our project managers are basically just like the best and absolute beasts, and advocate for the customer at every step of the way, so that the customer doesn't have to, it's taking a lot of that work off. It's the unseen work that women know about.
Yeah.
So I guess that is it. And I just want to say thank you so much for inviting me to speak with you. And also, more importantly, thank you for all you do in our community. You are such a Weaver priestess. The stuff you do in the Facebook group is just the tip of the iceberg. And I appreciate you. So thank you.
I appreciate you. I'm glad that we were able to make this magical session happen after a couple of reschedules in life. You get
My toddler fan. Should I just get my toddler? Hold on.
no worries.
Mary, want that out of my friend? You're my treasure. Oh, yeah, yeah. Here. Oh, I want to show her some hi to my friend. Okay. Wow.
Hi, lovey. What's going
Yes,
on?
you want to say hi?
Hi. So sweet. Mompreneurs, right? This is real life.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Maritza.
you.
So those who have, bathroom renovation needs, definitely reach out to Marissa at Kit Reno. If anyone has any questions about New Jersey, real estate, moving to New Jersey or out of New Jersey, you can reach out to me, Tez Roro, on all of social media. And if you, feel like there's someone that I should interview to feature on this series, definitely let me know. I love supporting small local businesses. Until next time, ciao.